ICC T20 World Cup 2026. All matches full and final schedule. Match number 1, Pakistan vs Netherlands. Date 7th February 2026 at 11 am Colombo. Match number 2, Scotland vs West Indies. Date 7th February 2026 at 3 pm Kolkata. Match number 3, India vs United States. Date 7th February 2026 at 7 pm Mumbai. Match New Zealand vs Afghanistan. Date 8 February 2026 at 11 am Chennai. Match number 5, England vs Nepal. Date 8 February 2026 at 3 pm Mumbai. Match number 6, Sri Lanka vs Ireland. Date 8 February 2026 at 7 pm Colombo. Match number 7, Scotland vs Italy. Date 9th February 2026 at 11 am Kolkata. Match number 8, Zimbabwe vs Oman. Date 9th February 2026 at 3 pm Colombo. Match number 9, South Africa vs Canada. Date 9th February 2026 at 7 pm Ahmedabad. Match number 10, Netherlands vs Namibia. Date 10th February 2026 at 11 am Delhi. Match number 11, New Zealand vs UAE. Date 10th February 2026 at 3 pm Chennai. Match number 12, Pakistan vs United States. Date 10th February 2026 at 7 pm Colombo. Match number 13, South Africa vs Afghanistan. Date 11th February 2026 at 11 am Ahmedabad. Match number 14, Australia vs Ireland. Date 11th February 2026 at 3 pm Colombo. Match number 15, England vs West Indies. Date 11th February 2026 at 7 pm Mumbai. Match number 16, Sri Lanka vs Oman. Date 12 February 2026 at 11 am Kandy. Match number 17, Nepal vs Italy. Date 12 February 2026 at 3 pm Mumbai. Match number 18, India vs Namibia. Date 12 February 2026 at 3 pm Delhi. Match number 19, Australia vs Zimbabwe. Date 13 February 2026 at 11 am Colombo. Match number 20, Canada vs UAE. Date 13 February 2026 at 3 pm Delhi. Match number 21, Netherlands vs United States. Date 13 February 2026 at 7 pm Chennai. Match number 22, Ireland vs Oman. Date 14 February 2026 at 11 am Colombo. Match number 23, England vs Scotland. Date 14 February 2026 at 3 pm Colombo. Match number New Zealand vs South Africa. Date 14 February 2026 at 7 pm Ahmedabad. Match number 25, West Indies vs Nepal. Date 15 February 2026 at 11 am Mumbai. Match number 26, Namibia vs United States. Date 15 February 2026 at 3 pm Chennai. Match number 27, India vs Pakistan. Date 15 February 2026 at 7 pm Colombo. Match number 28, Afghanistan vs UAE. Date 16 February 2026 at 11 am Delhi. Match number 29, England vs Italy, date 16 February 2026 at 3 pm Kolkata. Match number 30, Australia vs Sri Lanka, date 16 February 2026 at 7 pm Kandy. Match number 31, New Zealand vs Canada, date 17 February 2026 at 11 am Chennai. Match number 32, Ireland vs Zimbabwe, date 17 February 2026 at 3 pm Kandy. Match number 33, Scotland vs Nepal, date 17 February 2026 at 7 pm Mumbai. Match number 34, South Africa vs UAE, date 18 February 2026 at 11 am Delhi. Match number 35, Pakistan vs Namibia, date 18 February 2026 at 3 pm Colombo. Match number 36, India vs Netherlands, date 18 February 2026 at 7 pm Ahmedabad. Match number 37, West Indies vs Italy, date 19 February 2026 at 11 am Kolkata. Match number 38, Sri Lanka vs Zimbabwe, date 19 February 2026 at 3 pm Colombo. Match number 39, Afghanistan vs Canada, date 19 February 2026 at 7 pm Chennai. Match number 40, Australia vs Oman, date 20 February 2026 at 7 pm Kandy. Super 8 matches, starting date 21st February to 1st March 2026. The final match, top 2 teams, date 8 March 2026 at 7 pm Ahmedabad or Colombo. So viewers, which team will be the champion of ICC T20 World Cup 2026? You can let us know by commenting.